All right, good evening and welcome to the Town of Douglas Conservation Commission meeting of November 3rd, 2025. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast by local access programming and with remote participation available as provided on our agenda. Is there anyone here recording tonight's meeting? No one is. I hereby call the meeting to order at 6:33. Roll call of our members present, please.
Jim Foran.
Brendan Doyle.
Kate Thompson.
Mike Rocco. Josiah Birch.
Mark Mungem. All right.
This is good. These yours?
All right, we'll postpone the meeting minutes until later in the meeting after Kate's had a chance to look at it.
Thank you, Kate, once again, as always.
So item number 1, discussion 520 Northwest Main Street, Breezy Acres, which we talked about at the last meeting. Has something else come up?
I know there's someone here on behalf of Breezy Acres. I think they wanted to have a discussion regarding the commission's suggestion to file an RDA for the pool coming out. Originally, Brandon and my suggestion was because it's within the same footprint and because it's going to be pervious surface in its place now, that we did not necessarily recommend that an RDA needed to be filed. Brandon did talk to DEP, who said technically in this case an RDA wouldn't have to be filed, but up to the commission's discretion if you feel that this is a situation that you would like to impose conditions on. If you wanted erosion controls up in this area, if you wanted to impose specific conditions, you would have to have them file an RDA for this type of work. So I think, I think the same comment stands that I had said last time. If they want to remove the pool and they're putting in pervious surface, whether it be gravel or they're putting lawn around that area, we have no problems with it going on as it is now, an in-kind, basically, replacement of this with pervious surface underneath it. So, but it's up to the commission. The commission does, as DEP said, the commission does have the discretion to require somebody to file an RDA if you want to place conditions on it.
How you doing? Good. All right.
So that's what I have. Now, there was a letter sent in from Breezy Acres, which I'm sure these two could speak on now.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening. Keith Forget, Breezy Picnic Grounds.
Hi, Keith.
Hi.
I'm Lauren Forget, Keith's wife from Breezy Picnic Grounds.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi.
Pretty much like she said, we just came back. We wanted to talk because some of the things didn't sit well with us at the last meeting. And we just wanted to go over those things and get some clarity. And I followed up with DEP also on this. And because we've had some previous rulings, we've done 2 other projects that were in the same zone that didn't require an RDA. The last conservation agent came up, took a look at what was being done, and informed us that we weren't required to have an RDA, didn't need one. He took pictures after the projects were done for the file. So that's what I just wanted to go over with and get a feeling of why because when I think of this pool is like 3 feet deep. It's like a little bit taller than this table. It's not like a deep end pool. So from the work I talked to from DEP and what there is that exemption to the impervious surface, and if we went to an RDA and Sam and Brandon already basically ruled at a negative determination, so why would I have to go forward with a RDA if they're ruling, and they're the experts, they're the consultants?
And that holds a lot of weight.
That holds a lot of weight according to DEP. Why would I have to go for an RDA if it's going to be a negative determination from the actual consultants that the town uses?
Through the chair, I just want to say that we do not make the ruling at the end of
I
the day. No,
understand.
we do make our suggestions as to what we feel is going to be most or least impactful to the wetlands and the surrounding area. Now, sometimes we may make a recommendation for it. At the end of the day, it is the commission's decision as to what determination you'd like to make. So we wouldn't be making that ahead of time necessarily. But like I said before, if it was something that the commission wanted to condition, now, when I measure this out, it seems that this plunge pool area is about 20 feet off the bank of the pond. Does that sound accurate? I haven't been down there, but.
18.
Okay, so it's pretty, it's pretty close to the bank of the pond in this area. But if the commission wanted to, due to the close proximity here, they wanted to put conditions onto this type of work, whether it be putting up silt fence in that area to make sure that no runoff or anything is going to happen to go into the lake. If they wanted to make any specific conditions for this, the only way they'd be able to do that is through an RDA. So that's why, if they wanted to, they could have you do that. Now, could you just one more time just go over exactly what this work is going to entail for this plunge pool? Just because I just want to make sure that it's just the pool itself, right, being taken out, and in the same footprint, you're going to be putting down crushed stone? Is that what?
Exactly.
Not in this, it's going to be the virgin soil going back in.
Okay.
And then around the area now, around the pool where the sidewalks are, there's little crushed stone areas, and there's beach grasses, ornamental grasses growing out of the crushed stone. That's probably, I'm going to put a small layer of crushed stone over the top of the soil, and then probably with beach grasses, ornamental grasses growing out.
Okay.
I just want to add too that this isn't just 18 feet of grass or something. It's 6 feet of a concrete walkway, sidewalk, that's not being taken out. Then it's a 6-foot brick viewing area that's not being taken out. Then we have another 6 feet of a crushed stone area, and then we have the concrete wall.
The bank.
So there's nothing that's going to go anywhere remotely near the lake, which is already how many feet away from the wall
18.
now? No, because the lake is
the
drawing
water's down, John.
It's so far away, and there's not an ounce of dirt that would go near.
And I just wanted to not state that I wasn't trying, you guys made a mention of everybody's got to be on the same page, and I wasn't trying not to be equal to everybody else. But when I talked to DEP, they said the bank has a buffer zone, but according to them, it's not just the mere proximity, but it's whether or not it will alter the bank. So it's not just because I'm in the 100-foot buffer zone.
It's the work being done.
It's the work being done, you have to consider that. And then they also stated that we are not legally required to file an RDA even within 100 feet unless the Conservation Commission can show the work being done would alter the bank.
And I know Sam was asking too, like if you could talk about.
Because when I pull the pool out, I'm pulling the floor is cement, the pool.
And you're pulling that out, correct?
Yeah.
You're physically taking out the cement.
The cement.
And you're trucking it away or removing it from the site.
I'm putting it on a dumpster,
And-
in a construction dumpster.
We own the
It's gonna-
land next to the pool as
Yes.
well, so we.
I'm just trying to understand the process.
Yeah.
Okay?
So
You have to physically remove a concrete structure that's 18 feet from the water. So you're using heavy equipment to remove that structure?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
I'm using.
Heavy equipment has oils, it has fuels, when we have permits, we have to require that fueling is be done 100 feet away from the wetland or the resource area. We get to oversee within 100 feet of that bank. That's within our jurisdiction. Okay, thank you.
And
Mr. Chairman, if I could add something?
Of course you can.
I realize that you want to do this before, for wintertime, right?
That would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, so why don't we issue an RDA after after the fact. Like, you do your work, and then we could look at it after. Would that work?
Doesn't work for me,
Well,
but
this feels a little bit like selective enforcement, because we've looked back at all the other meetings, and 99.9% of the time, the commission has taken the advice of the experts. And here we are, who, we've been in the business for 72 years we've been in town. We have the goodwill we have put into this town, the support, we've got nothing back from this town, and it's disheartening, honestly, to not
And we're
have
just-
anyone work with us. We're trying to, you gave us a hard time putting in the slides in 1983, and now we're just trying to take
Not
out...
them personally.
No, I know, but I just mean the administration. And here we are trying to take out a 3-foot catch pool so we can continue on, and it's just, we're just met with so much resistance all the time, and it just, I don't know, it's just disheartening, like I said. I mean, if you want us to put hay bales on top of the walls and walkways, that's fine, but this is just going like a little bit too far for what it is,
I mean, you
in my
mentioned the
opinion.
heavy equipment.
I
I
mean,
mean, I have
built-
lawn mowers, people have
yeah, what's
boats
the
in the
difference
lake.
between mowing our lawn on the wall?
Yeah, we have
Like, our grass grows right up to that,
They have oils
area.
and hydraulics and,
weed whacking. What about all the snowmobiles on the lake and the boats?
yeah. it's
All
just-
that drip, people drop gasoline in the lake, filling their boat every day in
Yeah.
the summer.
all right.
So, you know,
It's just a mountain of,
We felt that we had jurisdiction over this. We felt that it wouldn't be an imposition on you to prepare and provide or request an RDA.
you're asking
I
for
did not-
$700 or whatever the huge...
I'm sorry, can I finish, please? You've had a chance to talk. So, we thought that it was, as Conservation Commission, as agents for the town, we thought that it was within our rights to request a determination of applicability, so that we could then condition that to protect the water body, which I know you guys want to protect as well, because you live on it, and it's your livelihood. So you want to protect it as well. I understand that. But, you know, if somebody else comes to us that's not Breezy Picnic Grounds, and they have a concrete structure next to the pond, you know, I think we would do the same here and say that, you know, you're going to have to show us of your processes, how you're going to remove it, where it's going to go, making sure that it's going to leave the site, all those types of things. That's what I thought we wanted to do here. I've said my piece. I'll let the other commission members speak on this.
I mean, we're trying really hard going forward, all for one for all, and not having someone have just one particular, like, oh, here's a favor for this person, or here's this, or, you know, if someone's too old, we're just going to let it slide through. Like, we're just trying to keep everything the same and, like, formatted all the way through without having the inconsistencies.
but I've had two projects, through the chair, I had two projects. One was the remodeling of a concession stand, which is only 35 feet away from the bank. That was from a 3-story building down to a 1.5 stories and making the footprint bigger, which didn't require an RDA. And then I had another with a mini water slide for little kids right on the water that was built that didn't require an RDA through the town too. So I have the precedent of those two things before me, that the last, whoever, I don't know if anybody was on the commission back then, but the last conservation agent, which it was 2019 and I believe 2017, they didn't see an issue with it. So I'm wondering why this, and it involved, well, the mini slide didn't involve heavy equipment, but the concession stand involved. So I'm just wondering what has changed in the bylaws or the rules where that committee didn't
They're
see.
always a judgment call. Every project is weighed on what the process is and what the work is, and it's a judgment call. And it's different people with each one. So, I mean, here you're saying that, the town never works with you. Well, they worked with you on 2 previous projects, it sounds like. You didn't have to do an RDA on those. So, Sam, you said that Brandon said the recommendation of your consulting firm as our agent was they don't need an RDA.
Yes, because if they're staying within, if it's already previously disturbed, we obviously have a lot of impervious surface in this area. So it's already a pre-disturbed area. If they are removing this pool, which is currently impervious, and putting crushed stone, native soil.
I understand, we
gravel.
understand
I know, I'm
we
just
understand what's
recapping.
going to happen.
So if you're going from impervious to now pervious surface, if nothing is getting expanded upon, if we're not expanding anything and doing any extra work above and beyond what's currently there right now, then Brandon's suggestion was to not have to require them to do an RDA.
So is there a way that you can, to satisfy somewhat of Mark's thought process, which is fuel spill, whatever type of spill that may go into the watershed, that we can get that taken care of without enforcing an RDA?
No.
So what, if you enforce an RDA, how does that stop them from doing what they're doing, or what they want to do?
Right.
I mean, well, if we requested that they file an RDA, it would take them a little longer, because now they have to file the paperwork, they have to get on an agenda, whether it be the next agenda or the agenda after. So the only thing it would do would halt them from starting work as soon as they want to. Because as of right now, if we say you don't need to file an RDA, they can start work tomorrow and do it tomorrow. If you want to impose any conditions, the only power you have in doing that is requesting that they file an RDA for it.
That's why I think that they should do an RDA, they should start their work as soon as they can before wintertime, and file an RDA after the fact, even though, you're our consultant and said that we didn't have to. I disagree with that, that's not being fair to other people that's been in front of us.
The only thing is if you,
In that way, we'd be able to, it'll be recorded, and if there is any problem, I don't think there is going to be a problem, but if there is a problem, then it'd be on file, that's all.
the only thing is that you have no power to have them come back for an RDA right now. So if we could say in the meeting.
We can't just say that, have them do it after the fact? Like,
They don't have
so
to
that
do
they
it.
could.
No.
You don't really,
They
it's
would-
not like you have an enforcement order on them
Like on
requiring them.
completion or something like that, where that we'd be able to review it.
As far as I'm aware, you would, unless you had an enforcement order on them, that's your legal document to require them to come back with an RDA. There's no real legal way to require them to come back for after-the-fact work.
Just being good taxpayers in Douglas.
Yeah, a little bit.
Does an RDA, you mentioned $700. Does an RDA cost
I
$700?
think it's now there's $450 for the consultant fee, so our fee is $450.
450 is pretty high,
And then, well, when you
just
look
in my
at,
opinion.
just, when you look at, we have to review it, and then we go out to the site.
I
and
understand that,
everything,
but I think 450 is pretty high.
That's something you guys could discuss at a future
I
date.
do.
Yeah, but that isn't a part of this
I-
conversation.
No, I'm not kidding. I had heard from Jen on a regular application, it's $100 for the town, and then $450 for our consultant. I was like, wow,
If you'd like to revisit
$550?
that, we can revisit it
If I had to pay
another time.
$550, I'd be a little upset.
Just to come back right back to the beginning. So
Yeah.
that's why, what does the RDA do but halt our progress?
No,
Yeah.
that's why I was trying not to halt your progress.
I
and just say
appreciate that, yeah,
that you can start work tomorrow and then do the
I agree that an
RDA.
RDA just halts your process. I think the intent is to protect the watershed.
Right, yeah.
I'll be honest, I wasn't involved with any of these previous things, and I appreciate what you guys have done there. And I think the volunteers here are trying to do the right thing too. And we've seen, I know since I've been here, I've seen a bunch of people come and they're modifying houses slightly 100 feet away from the watershed, and they have an RDA placed on them. You're very
They're
close
adding
to
a
it
deck
with cutting a tree. I mean, things that are much less constructive or destructive, depending how you want to look at it, than what you're doing. In my eyes, I don't have a problem with what you're doing. I just feel like we've had other people have to have an RDA for far less in my time here. Not speaking for what happened in the past.
That's correct.
So I have a hard time saying that we should just allow you guys to do it. However, with the precedent you set, that's been set, I understand why you have an argument. So
It's just that there is an exemption in the DE, in the,
well, I think, though, what Mark is trying to do, and I don't know if there's a way to do this without an RDA, if we come to an agreement with you guys somehow, I don't know. But I think Mark's intentions are very good, and what the board is trying to do is be consistent with what at least I've seen since I've been here.
Because not everything has always been consistent, and that's where we've gotten, not in trouble, but we've had a long road ahead of us, and we've been here till 1 a.m.
So
because of it.
how do we stop you from taking the risk of fuel or whatever, and contaminants getting into the watershed without putting an RDA on you? How is it, I mean, can we just say, thanks, please put these hay bales and silt fence up and don't let this happen, and we can trust you to make it happen?
well,
It's our life, I mean, I know nobody knows how much we care, but I guess,
like, if we could come to some understanding, I'll put the hay bales up, but if the machine is going to be inside the pool area, removing the concrete floor, the walls of the pool are going to stay up. Then once the floor of the pool is out, the fill is going to be filled into the pool until it's almost full. Then the walls are going to be pulled out, and then it's going to be finished covered. So there's no chance for the runoff for any fuel. I mean, I don't want any fuel or anything. I mean, that's kind of like, that's one of the, I mean, down in our park, you know, like, we don't spill fuel. That's just a known, it would kill the grass, it would, anything. So, like she said, like, this is a third-generation family business. Been in operation for 72 years. Water slides for 42 years. So, we just don't take it lightly, as you can see. I mean, that's our whole world. So if we can come to some understanding that without an RDA, that I'll put up anything the commission, I'll put up the erosion control across the concrete. But other than that, like, I'm doing the work, so it's my machine that's gonna, it's not gonna be a construction company that I don't know, it's myself. So I'm doing the work, I'm responsible. So it all falls back on me, which is the only way I would want it anyway. So, other than I mean, I don't know how you can do I mean, how can you say?
All right, can I pull, I'm going to pull, can we, do we want to require that they do an RDA, or do we want to come to a gentleman's agreement, if you will, with them, that they're going to do the work and they're going to abide by erosion protection requirements?
I would go with the gentleman's agreement.
Under the circumstances, that's fine. I would go with the gentleman's agreement. I am not because of you, but I'm nervous of it biting us in the butt, because if it does, it makes it very difficult for us moving forward.
Well, we have our consultant that said that
Yeah.
that was what the, excuse me, can we finish, please? So, you know, we have that to fall back on. It's not,
Right.
the DEP's
and the DEP's
statement.
statement. So I'm okay with that.
Okay. I agree.
Through the chair, just one last comment.
Yep.
You know, you can have your gentleman's agreement. At the end of the day, there's no legal standing for it. if there is something that happens, you have the full right to have an enforcement order upon them. If sediment does go into the pond, oil, if that is seen, I mean, that's your legal standing there. So it's on the burden of them to make sure, if you're going to have this type of agreement, it's on them to make sure nothing happens, because then you will be able to have enforcement.
And does this require a building permit?
Yes. Demo permit, that's why Brendan had to sign off on.
Right, because a lot of times when people go for a building permit, that's how we get projects coming before us, is because the building permit will say, oh, you got to go to the Conservation Commission and get it. So if you've already talked to them, then, okay. All right, so,
Mr. Chairman?
yes,
I still think that we should have an RDA.
You can't require them to do one, though.
No, and as far as the gentleman's agreement, that Brendan mentioned, that would be them to do the RDA after, so that we have, we have something. So that's...
If you're going to do a gentleman's agreement, then doing the RDA is
after the
pointless.
fact, so they...
it's one or the other, Josiah, in my
Yeah.
opinion. It's either we tell them they can go ahead with it, and then they have to still, meet the...
No, I think that they should be able to issue, we should be able to issue an RDA after.
But you can't enforce it, though. So it's a moot point.
Why do you say we can't enforce it? I mean, we could have
Sam
them
said
come,
that, no, we either do it today, do the RDA today, or...
It's not going to work for them to have the RDA today.
I understand that.
That's why.
But you can't enforce them to do it, so why bother doing it if we're going to do a gentleman's agreement on this?
Yeah, I think if I'm hearing it right, the majority of people here are probably going to not enforce an RDA tonight. So why would we do one at all? I mean, it's only going to make them come back later on in the future and spend money on things that perhaps they don't need to do.
Yeah.
And we have no enforcement activity if we do it later on anyways, because the construction work will be done.
I also don't think it's a good precedent to set to do an RDA after the fact if the future or other.
Yeah, I agree, because then you're...
I understand totally where you're coming from. I just don't think that it's in the future.
Because you got to remember, if we say, oh, do the RDA later, then everyone's going to start doing all the work.
Yeah.
And then go, oh, well, I'll do my RDA now. And it's not enforceable anyway.
And it may not be an RDA.
And it
Right.
would just be...
It may be a notice of
I'm
intent.
not saying that in just this situation, like the chairman said, that, every situation's different.
Motion?
Yes, that'd be great.
Do you want? I'll make a motion to go ahead and grant the 520 Northwest Main Street Breezy Acres to the gentleman's agreement just to put up the erosion control. Right?
Yeah. Do whatever protections are necessary to, keep sediment and fuels from entering the pond.
Would not have an RDA.
Correct.
A second.
All right, motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Brendan. All those in favor?
Jim Farr, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
McGregor, aye.
Josiah Birch, no.
Mark Mungem, aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Good night. All right, Potter Road update?
So, for this one, we received, and it seems the owners are here as well, we received a letter for the restoration report from EBT Environmental Consultants. Now I'll just read it real quick for the record. EBT Inc. reviewed the site on 6/5/2025 and 9/6/2025 and found that, unbeknownst to EBT Inc., planted grasses, including barnyard grass, orchard grass, and timothy on the northern half of the restoration area have shaded out and killed a majority of the deciduous plantings. The majority of what has survived is white pine. EBT Inc. recommends planting planting 10 northern red oak, 10 black cherry, and 10 white pine to replace plant numbers which have not survived. The 10 white pines will need weed guards installed as the pine are 1 inch. The forest area directly to the south is dominated by white pine. The planting can be accomplished this fall. Watering may be necessary. So that was from their consultant. They had a restoration within the riverfront area on their property, 11 and 17 Potter Road. So that was the very last restoration report. So my recommendation would be to go with what your consultant recommended for you. If things are dying, you definitely want those to be replanted and watered as necessary. So I would just leave it as, I would agree with what the consultant sent in the letter and have the applicant move forward that way. Now, I think they may have gotten a partial certificate of compliance for this one, and I think this is what we're waiting on. So I'm not going to recommend a complete certificate of compliance until this has been fully stabilized and it's all set and everything's grown in how it should.
So how does this work? They have like a couple years of review of the plant material, right?
Yeah.
And so now the plant material died.
Yeah.
And they have to replant.
Yeah.
So now there's 2 more years again?
I don't think, it's just so that it's a 2-year monitoring, end of growing season 2-year. I believe we already got the first one last year, correct?
We're the new homeowners.
Exactly. Okay.
So
All
we
right.
didn't really, we weren't involved with the.
All right.
Oh, yes.
You look different.
Yeah. So this is what we walked into. I own an excavation company here in town. We do a lot of this stuff for other properties and all around whatever. From what I can see, I don't agree with who we were appointed him basically. We were recommended this guy, Glenn. And from what we can tell and from what I can tell, I mean, we haven't touched anything over there. The grasses are growing. Most of the trees, I would say that they are growing. There's some that have died, but that's anything that you plant. Not everything's going to take, and I know there's a percentage that they'll allow not to come in. The last we met with him, he agreed that everything was coming in good. I'm not sure if you stopped by. This was probably before us or way back when we purchased.
It's been a while since I've been there, but
Yeah.
Brandon and myself have been there on and off a couple times. Now, I haven't seen it recently
Sure.
as it's grown in
Yeah,
now.
and I mean, even from the pictures that you could tell all the grass is growing. Then he had a problem with the grass seed that he approved. He said it was the wrong seed, but he already approved it, and we approved that we used that seed, or that the previous homeowner used that seed. We didn't do anything. We've just let it grow. But
I'm
now
sorry.
he wants
Can you just state your name
Christopher
and
Starr.
address, please?
11
For
Potter
the record?
11
Okay.
17 Potter Road.
All right, thank you. Sorry about that.
For us to go in there and re-disturb everything just doesn't make sense to me, because we're going to have to fix. I mean, we need a machine to dig all these holes. You can't dig them by hand. They're 3 to 5 foot trees is what he's recommending now. I got a quote from a greenery, dispensary for trees and stuff, and they quoted us almost $4,000 for the trees that they're requesting. That doesn't include any of the labor to install them. Yes, I can do it myself, but I shouldn't have to. It was just kind of one of those things that we walked into and didn't really realize how much work it was going to be to comply, and we haven't even touched anything, So we're trying to understand why we need to go plant 30 more trees to the tune of almost $4,000 plus labor, machine costs, lumen seed to our way out, because we're going to track machines in there and disturb everything that is growing, just to add some more trees to an area that is, in my opinion, growing very well for what it is. Maybe the couple trees aren't.
I'm sorry, I missed, who told you to put the trees in?
This is the environmental consultant guy that was hired as a third party, I believe, from the previous homeowners.
Yeah.
They prepaid him basically for last year to stick with us to do the last report. And we thought he was basically, the way we knew about it was he's going to come in and do his final inspection, sign off, we come here, or not even have to come here, and you guys say it's all set.
Yeah.
And now we're getting this, and it was super last minute. He was super late on, I'm throwing a lot at him, but I know he's not here.
Yeah.
He was super late on getting us the report that we needed for this meeting.
He did a first site. He came out in June. I had to ask him for the report over and over and over again. We got nothing. He said, well, it's been a few months. I kind of forgot about you. So I have to come back out and look again. And he said that some things did not take because the seed that was used, which we do have the confirmation text message and everything on that he approved, that there was shading.
And that it was
that's
the wrong
why.
seed completely.
And it was the wrong seed, yet we have the receipt and everything that he,
Do we have the original, what was proposed or whatever?
we have everything that Jen sent us.
For site plan, are you thinking, or just?
Well, it was a restoration plan.
Yeah, there was a
Because they have a restoration plan that they had to
Yes.
follow because, and so that would have had a planting schedule as part of it, I would think.
Which doesn't make sense if it's the same company, too. What's going on?
Have that.
Well, he did the restoration plan,
It seems
Glenn
like there's
Kravosky.
A lot of growth here.
And that was enough.
There's nothing that identifies that anything is dying in those pictures.
Yeah. Right.
I've taken
I don't have your
multiple
plot plan,
pictures.
though.
Sam, you didn't look at this.
So-
did you?
No.
So EBT Inc. recommends planting these 10 red oak, 10 cherry, 10 white pine. But what was,
The original?
yeah, I want to know what was the original planting plan for the restoration to understand why there's 30 trees being recommended. I don't remember there being that many trees as part of the restoration plan, but I may be completely wrong.
I could read it if you want, the original, or if you want to see it.
Sure,
Read it or see it.
you can read it.
The applicant had restored the 13,828 square feet of cleared and altered 100-foot riverfront area. The restoration included the removal of the boulder walls adjacent to the river, removal of the shed, removal of the 50-plus logs, and removal of 4 apple tree plantings within the 100-foot riverfront area. The boulders were removed from the riverfront area and placed directly abutting and beyond the limit of the 100-foot zone. The applicant and the consultant ensured there was coverage by topsoil at a depth of 4 to 6 inches, an account for good natural condition of the soil. The restoration had been planted with 133 woody plants at 10-foot spacing and 37 ferns. And there's a planting list attached to this. New England Wetland Plants provided 114 woody plants and 19 birch were received from a friend of the previous owner.
Right.
The 37 ferns were received from Bigelow Nursery with the attached receipt. The area had been seeded with conservation seed mix from New England Wetland Plants.
Which it was not actually from them.
It wasn't directly from them, but the restoration was overseen and reviewed by Glenn of EBT Inc. The site was reviewed on 10/22/24 and installed plants were found to be alive. 2 nesting locations have been installed in the area directly up gradient of where the boulder wall was removed. Nesting habitat creation has a mounted sand condition, sunlit to 85 to 90% of the day, which is what the female species concerned turtles seek out in the nest.
So that sounds like, you mentioned like 130 were planted.
So I don't
137
know
total.
what the percentage needed to survive, but I don't see how, 130-something plants are dead, and they're definitely not. My concern, like I said, the biggest thing is getting in there again with a machine, doing all this disturbance of the land, the small trees that could or could not get run over, redig, replant, and then work our way out with seed. It's going to be down to step 1 again, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
Start this over.
this would lead me to believe that 100 of them have survived,
Right.
and 30 might have
Correct.
passed,
Right.
if
And
that's
then
what you're saying.
What is the number that, is okay?
Okay. So, the important thing is that you want to get your certificate of compliance,
Correct. That's
right?
really
Because
exactly.
it's on your,
Correct.
yeah. So we need to, I think, have a look at the site and just confirm whether we think that the 30 are needed, or if it, if 20 more are needed, whatever, whatever the number is, I think we should do a review of the site.
I would agree, just so either Brandon and I can get our eyes on it to see, because generally we want to see 75% of the restoration area succeeding 75%, but it has to be native as well. So I would like to get out there, Brandon or myself, to get out there just to double check, to look through things, just to see, and then kind of go from there with our recommendation. I don't want to just say it now without looking at it.
That's fair.
Like you said, there was 133 plantings, and it seems that Glenn Grabowski is suggesting 30 to
Right.
be planted, so
Right.
I would like to look at it.
Yeah, the
He
numbers
did
seem
recommend the
off.
first time he came out, well, we might need 10. And then the next time I talked to him,
Yeah.
well, it might be 10 to 20. And then we get the report and it was 30.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Just keeps
how
going up.
has that changed? Now we're at
Yeah.
almost a quote of $4,000 for plants.
It also
Right,
might-
and it's
it
tough
also might
now
be zero.
because the leaves are,
Right.
you can't tell if a plant is alive or dead
Right.
now.
And I'd rather the word from, no offense to him, but from them to see what they think and what they recommend versus the third party that we don't know from a hole in the wall, and I don't know. I think that's the best.
So is this, Sam, is this something that can be reviewed at this time of year, or do we have to wait until next spring to
We don't
look
have
at
to
it?
wait. I mean, we could still look at it. You can tell it's dead.
Right. Yeah, because everything
Live.
pretty much looks like that picture.
Yeah.
You can't really
Still?
see any trees. Yeah.
Even in November?
Yeah, it's still pretty green over there.
So I would recommend that we can go out there, and then if we're fine with it, now I can't guarantee we're going to necessarily be fine with it, we're just going to look at what we're going to look at. So it could be the same thing that he's saying, it could be less. And then, once we figure that out, you guys could come back in, get on the agenda, or we could ahead of time figure it out, and then you come in for your certificate of compliance, and then we could talk about it.
Are you able to, when you do your walkthrough then, are you able to flag some stuff that you're saying's dead so we can know
I mean,
what
if-
we're supposed to be replacing or
We
not? That
could.
way, everyone's on the same page and we know, okay, well, that's obviously dead, that needs to get replaced, let's do
Yeah.
that. And, that way we're not confused when it comes
And then
time
we
to
could actually take
replanting.
out what is dead and replace it with something that is.
Yeah, that's something we could do.
Because I have a feeling we'll be back here and you'll say you found none, but that's just my opinion.
Okay.
So,
Are you sure you don't want to wait until April or May?
What are we waiting on then, just to
I mean, if you
close it
guys
out?
just moved in,
Yeah,
it doesn't.
Moved in a
it's
year
just an
ago,
inconvenience thing, really. It's nothing else, so it's just something.
You don't need it to
hovering.
sell your house or anything?
No.
like
Oh,
that?
no.
I don't like the sign, but DEP file.
I got
so
you.
that'd be nice to get rid of. But no, besides that, that's really it.
Okay, because they do have a partial certificate of compliance,
Right.
they just don't have the complete right now. So
Exactly.
it's technically not holding you guys up from
Right.
anything at the moment, so.
And you give us permission or
Yes.
for the conservation agent to review the, okay, thank you. All right, and that's
so-
what I think we should. we
Perfect.
should
And
do.
they'll reach back to us. You guys
Yeah,
will reach back
yeah.
to us with what you find
Yep.
or don't find.
Is it safe to assume, Sam, that if you go out there and let's just say there's a 1-foot-high sapling that's dead, doesn't need to replace it with a 3-foot sapling, it could be with a 1-foot sapling, which may
It could
be,
be the same size.
yeah, I'm just thinking it might save a lot of money if you have to
And the other
replace.
side of
Yeah.
that too is plant time. If you
Yeah,
say
yeah,
now
yeah.
that they're dead, maybe there are a couple that are, we should probably wait till spring, in my opinion. I'm sure yours too, that nothing's going to really take this time of year, but depending on the species. Actually, 2 of the recommendations he recommended aren't even available through the supplier right now because of the time of year. There's one, I think, that he said he could get, but
I'll start with going there, and then I
Yeah.
can talk to Brandon about all the more specifics of it, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right,
Great.
thank
Thank
you,
you.
thanks for
Thank
coming.
you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, item number 3, Orange Street, Lot 12 entrance.
So for this, we received a complaint on October 28th from one of the neighbors that there was some disturbance going on. So just to give a little background, just to refresh everybody's memory, this gravel road has existed. It was expanded upon last year at some point. We had an enforcement order against the owner to have him do plantings on both sides and restore both sides of this gravel driveway to bring it back down to the original width that it was. So that's kind of the history with this. One of the neighbors said that there was some disturbance happening on this gravel driveway, took a video. We do have a video as well. of some type of small machine just moving dirt on this gravel driveway. So we are within the 100-foot buffer zone. There is a vernal pool, which actually we did just get the certification back, so that vernal pool has officially been certified in that location. But if Mr. Betancourt wants to speak a little bit more on it.
Bruce Betancourt, 41 Mystic Valley Lane, Uxbridge, Mass. As you are aware, we have 2 orders of conditions on Lot 10 and 11 for single-family home builds. And Lot 10 was recently given a certificate of occupancy, work completed. Lot 11 is probably 1 week away from the same. The driveway was being paved the day after this complaint happened. We were moving our heavy equipment off-site permanently because we're complete over there. And the low bed was on its way. The town had just brought a grader in and cleaned up Orange Street, which it does twice a year. And it left a windrow in our driveway. And I have a text message from Rick from your office, which was Brendan, on a previous complaint from the same party, that there was a puddle at the bottom of our driveway along the roadway, and he asked that we remove it. And so at that point in time, he asked us to put gravel on top of that puddle so that the puddle didn't continue to reappear. And that was, I think, in August. So on the 28th, I think it was, we were removing our equipment and the windrow was there. I asked my operator to backblade the windrow so that it wouldn't cause another puddle to occur. We had 3 days of rain coming. And I showed Brendan the pictures after the fact, and he agreed that they looked the same that it did after the reclamation work was done and that there was no damage. So that was the end of that. And the driveway was paved the next day and the equipment's gone.
Okay, so that was lots 10 and 11.
Yes.
But what about 12?
Lot 12 right now is just a gravel path. The gravel path has been there since 1840. It's on all the maps. It was used for logging for 50 years, and it has been, used and abused as it is used for that purpose, and it regrows. The disturbance, if I can remind you, was when they were clearing Lot 10 and 11 initially to start work, they used that as the logging path. And my wife and I were actually on vacation, and they asked me, because it was an ice storm, if they could spread some gravel out so that nobody got killed between a skidder and a truck. And they did that without my direction, or I gave them the okay. Obviously, I didn't want anybody to get hurt, and the result of it was, a $6,600 fine and a $5,000 or $6,000 reclamation project, which we did.
Right.
So.
Right, but that has not been further disturbed.
No, it has not.
So the complaint is that it has been further disturbed. You said you had some
There's a
video of it?
The neighbor had taken a video of the machine going up and down the driveway, what looked like pushing dirt up and down the driveway. So that's the video. I can show the video if I can find it here.
Or was that just to get ready to pave it, or?
No.
That was just...
It's a gravel path. And, what I was saying to Brandon on this subject was, we own 275 acres, and there's evidence of that gravel path going all the way to Southeast Main Street, which is a mile away through the woods. There's gravel in there with, plants coming up through it at this point. But that must have been a major thoroughfare 100 years ago.
Right.
Before Pine Street was there. So,
So has there not been any further disturbance of that?
No. And I have a picture of it the day after, if you'd like to see it.
No, I'd like to see the video, please. If you have it.
Sorry, it's just taking a while because it's a video.
And it's the municipal center.
Yeah. I guess the question for Mr. Betancourt is just, why was it being disturbed in this particular area at that time? I mean, in the opinion of Brandon is as long as it's not getting expanded upon and things aren't being significantly changed, it's not being paved, it's not being expanded upon, there's not really issues with that.
This is the day after.
So what is the traffic that is taking place on
The
it?
workers, they park there and go into the house to work. Sheet rockers, cabinet guys, floor guys.
So they don't use the driveway for lot
The driveway
11?
was getting paved,
Okay,
so we had to divert traffic until the pavement went down.
okay.
But that's used for hunters too, all the time. There's people up there. The National Grid trucks park there for coffee, UPS, even the mail people stop there. So I don't care, I don't mind, but it's a gravel path that's been there since 1840. Every once in a while, it will probably need some maintenance as well, because I use that when I want to go up in the back. I drive my Jeep up there and whatever.
Yeah, well, you should care if you're going to get blamed for stuff.
Well,
you know?
I do, but here's a for instance. The people that are causing all of these complaints sit out there with their two dogs and film us. They must have 200 hours of filming. They actually took their dogs, walked all the way down Orange Street, all the way down Perry, and hung out on my property watching us with a video camera making loom. And, we offered them a cup of coffee because they were there so long. So I'm not complaining. Concerned citizens, I'm fine with it. I'll give them a chair. And I'll come here every time you guys require me to be here.
So I see.
So this is, I just paused it because it's kind of a little skippy on here, but this is the video that was sent in. It started from down the street and then came up.
Yeah. So
It's a 12-foot wide, it's stated as a 12-foot wide gravel path. No material was brought there. That was backblading from the road. The gravel that you see at the end was from the road, taking the windrow off. And it's, before the complaint was made initially, who knows how wide that gravel path was. After the reclamation project, it became 12 feet in writing.
Right.
But whatever it was for 100 years, the gravel's there, it's been there.
Right.
But if I'm reading this right, please correct me wherever I'm wrong. The person who filed the complaint said, I was under the impression heavy equipment was not allowed to operate within the buffer zone of the vernal pool. So did heavy equipment operate within the buffer zone of the vernal pool?
We're not in the vernal pool.
It didn't say in the vernal pool, it said to operate within the buffer zone of the vernal pool.
That's a gravel path that's been there since 1840.
This is to me a yes or no question.
Okay,
It either
so-
did or it didn't.
Well, yes, obviously, there's a machine there.
Okay.
When I log again inside my 275 acres, I have a right to have logging equipment go up and...
I'm not arguing any of that. I'm trying to understand. The complaint is heavy and I'm asking the board, or whoever would know, is heavy equipment allowed to operate within the buffer zone of the vernal pool?
I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I don't know either. Because that's what the complaint is.
Exactly. It
If
has to go
the
back to
complaint
what's
doesn't exist or if it's not real,
Right.
then it's irrelevant.
Right.
Exactly.
If it is an actual rule that he can't do that, then maybe there is a problem. I have no idea.
Right.
Well, on another note, and this has been discussed before, the only reason why there's a vernal pool there is because Orange Street is there blocking the water flow.
Well, but that's,
Several areas going down Orange Street, culverts have been put in to allow the passage of water. And this is one of those areas where it hasn't. And there are several that flood right up to the side of the road. There were 2 culverts added down near the selectman's house onto my property last year. I witnessed it. I don't care, I don't mind. It's a natural flow of water. I have an intermittent stream on the other side of it that's been there forever.
So my other question too
Yeah.
is that it's a login, right? He's got the login, so does that like trump every, like, you know what I mean? Does it trump because it's technically login? So if he's using it for login, eventually, like, that's just a normal thing, right? I don't
There may be
know.
exemptions to that, but I mean, from my basic understanding, if the road is within the same condition that it was previously before that whole issue happened last year with
Yep.
the expansion of it, if it's in the same width, the same condition, the drainage characteristics are not being altered, there's nothing being brought in, put on top of it, it's not being expanded upon, then under my understanding of this, he's within his right to do what he's doing. Now, because I'm looking at the enforcement order right now, basically, just kind of skipping through everything, but I just kind of want to read, under the definition of alter, the changes the violator has made that are applicable to this situation include, but are not necessarily limited to, the changing of pre-existing drainage characteristics, so that's what had been changed previously, and the destruction of vegetation. Further, work included the importation of fill as well, so unauthorized work took place within the buffer zone and to the wetland, which is believed to be a potential vernal pool, which is a certified vernal pool now. So as long as it's not being changed, not being expanded upon,
Or improved upon. That's
yes.
important. You should not be continuing to add gravel to it.
I
You
do
should
not add gravel.
Okay, good. And, just shouldn't be continually being worked and graded, in my
Well,
opinion.
that was, like I said, we were emptying our equipment off of the site. And, there may be another house lot there. Lot 12 was a house lot at one point in time, and I returned it back into acreage because I thought that might be a valuable entrance into the property in the back. So I left it that way, and that entrance I wanted to maintain since 1840. I want to continue the maintenance and allow that path to be there for access, for whatever reason. There's a lot of land back there.
So Sam, everything here says I was under the impression heavy equipment was not allowed to operate within the buffer zone of the vernal pool. Do we know whether that's...
I do not know for a fact if that has been a condition. We have an enforcement order on him from it was being expanded upon. That's our enforcement order. Now, as far as vehicles using that entrance, I'm under the impression they're able to use that entrance. Now, again, if he is changing and altering it from what it was before, then that can be considered under the enforcement order. You're changing it, you're altering it. But I believe that they're able to use that as a historic path. Now, I would like to double check on that. Brandon is much more familiar with the history of this situation. But as long as my conversation with him before coming here this evening was as long as it's not being expanded upon, after gravel coming in, there's no issues with this. Now, I do want to add, additionally, under this enforcement order, there were plantings that were required for the restoration area, which I was told have died, a lot of them. So I would highly recommend, that they need to be replaced if they've died.
There's been additional trees planted over there. We bought them from a nursery, Weston Nurseries, I believe we bought them from. And I think they were white oak or black oak. Is it black oak?
There's both.
Okay. Whichever we were required to plant didn't take. And we went back to the nursery, and the nursery said it's going to be very difficult for that species to live in the acidic soils in that area. They probably won't make it. And they gave us something different to put in its place, which
You know what it was?
I'm not sure what it was. My guy, when he went to the nursery, came back with something else and put something live in there that has leaves on it. So if you wanted to check it, you could check it. It appeared to me that they were a form of maple. So, I didn't get out and study it. They're on a stick and they're tied to the stick so that they didn't get trampled on by anybody. So they're there. And you have my permission to go check and let me know if you agree with it, disagree with it. But we did plant, I think, 16 trees and 32 plants. And everything grew right in. I couldn't tell you where what was now because the grass overtook. But it's flourishing. And I want to add one point. When the loggers were over there last, they backed a 55-foot trailer up into that path, and the loggers brought all the logs to an industrial-sized chipper and turned full-size trees into wood chips, which they haul to Maine, and they heat plants and make electricity. The restriction that the stone wall, which was required in the replication, creates a choke point for that, whereas before they were able to maneuver their trucks back up in there, and now it's not even a possibility. So it's actually the restriction of the choke point on the stone walls is causing harm to them being able to go do their work in the future. So I don't have a plan for it to happen this year. It may happen next year. I'll be happy to bring it up again when
You'll have to come back before us and say that, you need to be able to widen it out while they're doing the work and then put it back or whatever, but...
just at the street.
A process
so that they
to do that.
55 feet, Orange Street is only, 18 feet wide?
Yeah.
So you're up on the bank and rubbing up against trees trying to make that turn. And, that's it.
Where would we leave this, Sam? We want to, we have the complaint, we've discussed it. I don't think that there could be a restriction saying that they can't, what is it?
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either. But
Heavy equipment was not allowed to operate.
Yeah,
And it just, I
seems
can't,
extreme.
That's why
I
I
don't
also-
recall ever conditioning anything.
And that's why I also asked about the logging.
If it's historically been used and machinery has gone up and down
We've got the 100
it.
foot, we can't fuel, you can't store material, equipment within 100 feet of the wetland. That's always part of our standard condition, but not, not that you can't operate or...
Well, I think that's the point. If this isn't even an accurate assessment of what's going on, or it's irrelevant, if you can drive the vehicles up and down there, then it's not even really a violation.
As long as there's no substantial improvement of what is there right now, that's where I would say it would become something different. If it's getting improved further than what it's historically been used for, then I think that's where you run into the issue.
And agreed, but that isn't what the complaint is, so that would be something you would, he's offered to let you come out and look at it and check that, but that's not what the complaint is about.
Well, but yeah, the complaint is the equipment being used. Yeah. So it's that, being allowed to operate within the buffer zone. So yeah, if
the plantings didn't take, it's not relevant to this. It's good to know to make sure.
Yeah, the plantings were additional, but, yeah, I just, Brandon didn't have an issue with it as long as it's not being expanded upon and significantly altered.
Have you already widened the opening?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Even Orange Street needs maintenance twice a year.
Understood.
And everybody's driveway that lives on Orange Street is dirty.
I know, but, all right.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Yeah. When I went up to Mr. Betancourt's property back in August, and it was during that rain period, and the town had been in it the day before, and they're the ones that opened up.
They did.
Yeah.
They took their backhoe
After
and
talking
made
with
a
Jen
path
at
right
that
off
time.
the road and took the gravel with it.
And you were blamed for it.
I was.
So.
And I fixed it.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think
It happens.
you get a big project there, and you're just trying to do the best you can.
That's what we're here for.
Any comments from anybody in the audience or on Zoom? Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming in,
Okay.
talking to us about it.
I just want to make one more note. We're supposed to be talking about the fire road, but I had already let Brenda know we weren't doing that tonight
Okay.
because Mr. Watsky's letter required information back from other attorneys that
Yes.
are doing research.
Okay,
Okay?
so you're going to request a continuance of that?
Yes, please.
All right.
Great night.
Thank you.
You too.
Item number 4, 6:30 PM, DEP number 1431124, public hearing continued. Jacob Arsenal has requested a continuance till December 1st, 2025. Want to make a motion?
Make a motion to continue to December 1st.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Brendan to continue the public hearing for Jacob Arsenal at 48 Northwest Main Street to December 1st. Roll call vote?
Jim Farr and I.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Monjamai. All right, item number 5, still no DEP number for Mr. Leonardo.
Actually, we do have one, and we got it at 2:44 PM. I printed
Sweet.
a copy for the entire board.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right, what is it?
So it's DEP 14, the number is 143-1128. I'm Valerie Leonardo. I'm Joe Leonardo's daughter.
Thank you, Valerie. 1128.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. And here's one for Mark. I'll go to Sam.
Right across the bottom like that.
You must have been excited to see this.
I was very excited to see this. And one for
Thank you.
And one for you. And Dad, here's one for you.
Well, we may also want, this is Joe Leonardo, by the way, we may also want to say thanks to Sam, because, in the encouragement about, being active and calling the
Yes.
state, we got results.
Yes. So
Can you start calling
Yeah.
for us on behalf of Lakeshore Drive, please?
She's going to make the same request.
Right?
there does appear to be a backlog at the DEP, so.
Let us know who you talk to so we can talk to them too.
Yeah.
It's Emily Petro. So she's very.
Do you have a direct line?
Yes, actually I do, and she called me on my cell phone.
Cool.
Yes,
Good for her.
yes.
Well, nevertheless, the thing is there, but we haven't gotten the agreement between the engineer, that's to do the perk test, or the town, a witnesser. So we'll be getting that for Title V, if you would, and we'll get that going, and as soon as that happens, we'll be moving on. But in the meantime, a lot of the copse growth, has been removed, but it's still there, so none of it has really been chipped or anything gone yet.
All right. So you've been before us several times. We've talked about it. We're all, I think, okay with the plan that you've presented to us and the work that you're proposing. So I would say that we just want to move forward with any conditions. And anything on your behalf, Sam?
What is this Gmail?
So I'll just add, I had stated we had been given an original site plan. I made some comments. We received a new site plan. I had said previously I don't have any issues with this new site plan. Everything looks good for what I had requested in the first place. I'm just now reading DEP's comment on this.
Oh, sure, right. we need that.
The only thing they said was regarding the sublot 2. So they made a comment saying the parent parcel contains riverfront area associated with Green Brook in the easterly portion of the site. Mass DEP recommends the applicant evaluate the access to sublot 2 from Southeast Main Street. can be provided and that access meets the performance standards for riverfront area prior to restricting site access from Pine Street with the development of the proposed house and driveway on sublot 1. So basically, they want to make sure if you're getting access to your second lot via Southeast Main Street, that you will be complying with the standards for riverfront area because that's a perennial stream on that side. So you have to comply with all your riverfront area standards. So it's a little bit more in-depth than just buffer zone work.
I understand, but just like to do stuff here, I was planning on putting up my house on the Southeast Main Street side, and I've already gone through this exercise, and we did prove it to be intermittent. Okay, and so, but we took the photographs, I know they also wear out and things go bad, and we also perk tested the land twice, okay, 2 separate times, but I got engaged in some other activities and I just put it aside. Furthermore, I never put it in chapter land, I never put it in other stuff that I could have basically reduced my taxes down to nil, okay, but instead I paid the full price, you know, and the whole thing was because I might be going there next week. I might be going there next week. I might be going there next week. So I constantly reminded of that yes, it is gone by, but I do want to bring it back, you know, along with everybody else that lives there, you know, on, that have been built during that time period. I've owned that land a little over 20 years. And at the same time, I think that I will not be doing any significant damage to Greenbrook, nor do I want it destroyed, nor do I want it changed. And oh, by the way, the little part of Greenbrook is in the front of that lot, and it looks very nice. So I don't...
So the front of that lot, you mean on the southeast Main Street side?
I'll put it up on the...
Yes. It's within the wetlands, I would assume,
The
right?
brook, yeah, so these are on the easterly side of this lot. This lot is going to be subdivided, so that's not part of this application in front of you.
Right.
But they just mentioned it because if for some reason the applicant cannot comply with getting in from this side, from Southeast Main Street, they can't comply with riverfront area, they may have to come in through Pine Street. And they were just basically saying, before you build a house and do everything, make sure you're going to be able to comply if you're coming in from Southeast Main Street. Or you may have to have your ingress through that area.
Like extend the driveway.
Like a common drive.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. And
Where is lot 2, if you don't mind, Sam?
It's on the right side here, easterly.
Okay, gotcha.
So this is the second lot and the one that is under our review right now.
Gotcha, okay.
And where's Greenbrook or whatever?
Right here,
The perennial
the corner
stream.
right there. This is the perennial map, USGS map perennial. Can you see it right there?
Yeah.
I'll zoom
But
out.
did you say it wasn't perennial?
See green?
Oh, got it, sorry, you're right.
It's mapped as perennial. So when it's mapped as perennial, it's perennial. But the applicant is able to submit 4 days of observations, of no flow observations, within a 365-day period to say, okay, we're proving this to be intermittent. I have no idea how long ago that was. I don't know how long they last. That's another question I would have for Brandon. How long do the pictures last? But either way, that's not in front of us at the moment. So when it comes in front of us, it comes in front of us. But that was just DEP's comment. Other than that, I have no further suggestions or recommendations. I would recommend the standard special if you're going to issue an order of conditions for this one. I can bring up the site plan again if you guys want to see it, but... So just to refresh everyone, our closest, for the limit of disturbance, the closest that it comes to the wetland is 41.9 feet for the limit of disturbance for the driveway. The driveway itself to the wetland line is 45.6 feet. I believe your bylaw states that you need to be at least 10 feet away with a private driveway from the wetland, so they are well within that. It seems that they have the driveway placed as far away from the wetland as they can in that particular area, comes pretty close to the property line, and then once you get up to the top of the hill, they're almost completely out. Well, they are outside of the 100-foot buffer zone with the proposed house itself. Most of the driveway is outside of the buffer zone. They do have, seems they have straw wattles for their siltation barrier. If you were to impose a special condition for this, if you wanted to, maybe recommend silt fence and straw wattle, just as a little bit of extra protection, because this slope is pretty steep going down to the wetland in this particular location directly west of the house. Other than that, I have no issues with this.
Well, I would say that because you're 75 feet away from the wetland at your closest point, I wouldn't be too worried about that, but I would be a little bit worried about having a little bit of extra erosion control barrier where the driveway comes off of Pine and where it's at its closest point to the wetland there, where there's a lot of traffic and there might be some grading. It's not much grading, but a little bit.
So from like Pine Street to the 50-foot buffer zone or something, Mark?
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make sense to you guys? So in this area in particular, from Pine Street to the 50-foot buffer line here, if you could do silt fence and wattle, just for extra protection in case something were to happen, because that's the closest part to the wetland there.
Right.
If you took a look at the wattle that's in there now, you could put the siltation fence just on the wetland side.
Yep.
Okay, of it.
Yep.
Okay, and then we would actually put the wattle on top of it, so to give it a little extra protection.
Yeah.
And that would be roughly about, 50, 60 feet, I'm sorry, a little longer than that, maybe about 60 feet, from the beginning of near Pine Street.
Yeah. And I would like to add that we don't want to see anything happen to that area either, because it's the natural aesthetic of that part of the land. It's part of the appeal of that side of the lot, to see those natural formations there and to see how it looks. So that's part of the whole ambiance of it, is to leave it like that and keep it natural the way it looks and to not disturb it. And the total appeal of it and how it looks.
You're good to make a motion to that effect?
So making a motion to issue an order of NOI approving the DEP 143-1128 proposed project at 269 South East Main Street, map 245, lot 41, with standard special conditions, and from Pine Street to the 50-foot buffer line of silk fence and wattle.
Additional silt fence, yeah.
Additional silk fence.
That would be a special condition.
Okay.
I second it.
All right, motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Brendan to issue an order of conditions for whatever this project is.
Number 5.
Yep. DEP number 143-1128, Joseph Leonardo, 269 Southeast Main Street, with the standard special conditions and an extra special condition to add silt fence between Pine Street and the 50-foot buffer line. All those in favor?
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mongemai.
Thank you very much.
Just
Thank
so you guys are aware, when you do go to start work, whenever that may be, just make sure you contact the town hall first, because in our order of conditions, we have a pre-construction meeting as well that we have with you yourself or the contractor, that everyone can be there just to go over several different things to make sure everything is all set to go, okay? So you can just reach out to Jen whenever.
It would be great. I hope to have it, I hope to have that pre-meeting this year before.
Because kindergarten starts in September. So that's important, yes.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you very much.
But have a good night.
You too. Do you have a file for us to sign?
Oh.
Chair, can I make a motion to, for Benton Court?
Yep. Continuance?
Yep, make a motion for Benton Court, 0 Perry Street to
Continue.
continue, thank you, until December 1st meeting.
Second.
Motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Brendan to continue the Christopher Betancourt, 0 Perry Street, Fire Road, public hearing till December 1st?
Is it December 1st? That's what we said on the other one, so.
Yeah, I think the next meeting is canceled because of the town.
Yeah, those 17th was the
So
night.
it's December 1st.
All right.
Okay. Jim Farr and I.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Yea or nay, Mike, continuing the public hearing till December 1st?
Hi. I go along with that. Excuse me. Aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye. I assume we have nothing from the DEP on Lake Shore Drive?
Once again?
That's a good one, Mark.
Thank you. Easy assumption there, huh?
Yeah.
Funny, everybody else gets help from the DEP except for us.
Now. We don't want to make enemies. 3:30.
Then we'll go to number 11, request for certificate of compliance, DEP number 143-1057.
Do you want number 9 first? Number 9, 335 Southwest Main Street.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Number 9, 335, and we'll take 335 and 349 Southwest Main Street. We'll do 335 first.
Okay, so since last time you issued an enforcement order for both of these lots, we'll just start with 335, but there was an enforcement order on this lot. Can I see this real quick? There was no siltation fence or any type of erosion controls on this site, so you issued an enforcement order to get those complete. So for this site in particular, Rick from our office did an inspection late last week, made a couple adjustments to a few of the erosion control devices, silt fence, not particularly on this lot. He said this lot was fine. I did do a final inspection today, so for this lot in particular, I would recommend lifting the enforcement order as it's been satisfied since last time. So that's what my recommendation for this one would be in particular. Now, I think this is going to go for both lots. Actually, we'll start with that.
We'll just,
if you want to, aside from lifting the enforcement order, if you'd like to go forward with doing that on this lot, KD Construction Co. sent in a letter basically requesting that, which is pretty standard for construction lots, putting crushed stone or riprap along the edge of the driveway closest to the road as the construction entrance, so we do not track dirt out into the road. So he did request that, I believe, for both lots. So that is being requested for this lot as well. I just want to mention that, but either way, before going with that, you would, if you want to lift the enforcement order, that's my recommendation for this one. Everything has been satisfied as far as the erosion controls on this lot. And it is stable.
Have some.
Okay.
And this was the lot that was relatively flat. The other lot was the one we had more issues with, so.
Right. I also have seen this site, and I agree with Sam's assessment, and that this, that the enforcement order can be lifted for 335. They've put up the stump grindings around the entire site. This one does not have any silt fence on it.
No.
Correct?
No, because it's a relatively flat site compared to the other one.
Right.
make a motion to lift the enforcement order for 335 Southwest Main Street.
A second.
Okay. Motion's been made and seconded to lift the enforcement order. Roll call vote.
Jim Farr and I.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
Before we move on to the next one, I would like to just note that I don't think a pre-construction meeting has been done for either of these sites. Is that correct?
No, it hasn't.
Okay. So before moving forward, I saw you put the DEP file numbers
Yep.
out there, but before moving forward, you just need to schedule a pre-construction meeting
Yep.
through Jen at the town hall, and then we can get in contact with you as well, okay? So then for 349, it was similar, we had an enforcement order for no erosion controls on site. The erosion controls, the stump grindings were put up around the site, but I had requested silt fence in one particular area because this site is a little bit more steep than the other one, so I had concerns with that. So the silt fence was up, we had a big rainstorm, the silt fence got pushed over by some water. So Rick from our office had gone out there after that was fixed. Then there was one more issue with the way the wattle was positioned. We had him put straw wattle across the entrance of it because I guess water was coming down from the road, going across the driveway down into the wetland. So the wattle
It comes
was...
about 200 feet or more down the road, all the way down the side of the road.
Yeah.
It goes right across the driveway
So
into the site.
we had him put up wattle across the entrance of the driveway as an extra precaution. At first, it was positioned in a way where it ended before the silt fence, and it was kind of positioned toward the silt fence, and Rick didn't really like that. He wanted it going past the silt fence, so that has been fixed. I did check that out before the meeting today. The silt fence looks to be good. The wattle looks good. There's stump grindings everywhere else on the property where they should be. My only suggestion would be if you could take down the silt fence that you had put up, which is a little bit closer towards the wetland. It's now knocked down. It's not really doing much at the moment.
I didn't want to touch that.
Which is understandable.
No, you did the right
yeah.
thing and not.
Which is understandable. So if you could remove that, that would be great. And if you have extra, I mean, I don't know if it's necessary, but you know, the stump grindings in that area where it kind of went down, they're a little bit depleted in that location. If you have extra that you can stick on top just to replenish that would be good. But other than that, the silt fence looks good and everything else looks good. So given those two things with him just removing the silt fence that's a little bit farther down that was placed there, I would recommend lifting that enforcement order as well.
Yeah, that area will need to be monitored pretty closely, it looks to me, because so much water can come down the street and wants to go in, you know, it always has,
Yeah.
and wants to go across. But,
And part of...
but what about, you said like a construction entrance, gravel entrance, we want to add that?
So now, for both sites, it's typically, I mean, it's typical practice to have that there so the construction vehicles don't track dirt. But in this case in particular,
Going to catch a lot of the water.
so that's, and
Definitely needs it.
Kip can explain that if you'd like to.
The water's coming right down the road because you know natural elevation and you can't fight gravity. So with the construction entrance, particularly on this lot, the water will come into the crushed stone. It'll end up no erosion because it'll be in the crushed stone. It's going to be released because you can't stop it, but it'll be released clean.
Yeah, no, I'm all in favor of a construction entrance.
So if anything,
with
that'll-
some 2 or 3 inch stone
Infiltrate.
at the start, the driveway there, right where you come off the road. I think that would be great.
So my recommendation would be you could lift the enforcement order for this one as well. And then he did send in a letter. So we have a physical letter requesting these construction entrances be added. Now, because they weren't part of the original order of conditions, I'm suggesting if you do want to approve it, just vote to approve as a minor field change. If you want a memo, we can write a memo for it, just so it's on the record that it's been added, so then there's no question going forward. But that would be my recommendation if you want to approve this, which we see as an improvement, if anything, that just voted in as a minor field change.
Yep. So I would make a motion to lift the enforcement order and with a minor field change to add a tracking pad at the beginning of the driveway. Does that sound
For both
right?
lots.
For both lots.
And, I mean, you could do that separate from the enforcement order. I would vote that separately.
Okay.
So you can vote to lift the enforcement order for this one, and then after that, you can vote to approve a minor field change for both lots.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to lift the erosion control for...
In order?
Enforcement order. Wow. For 349 Southwest Main Street.
Is there a second?
I will second.
Motion's been made by Jim, seconded by Brendan to lift the enforcement order for 349 Southwest Main Street.
Jim Farr, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mungum, aye.
And then, do you want me to do them separate or together?
You know, I maybe do them separate because they're two different DP file numbers, so that'll probably be cleaner to do it like that.
Do you have the DP file number?
Let me see. So if you want to start with 335.
Yep.
1 second.
Yep.
Load.
Yeah, it's 1430995.
Yep.
0995.
Thank you. And then the other one?
That was for Lot 2. Lot 1 is 1430994.
Okay, thanks. So make a motion for a minor field change to add a tracking pad.
Yep.
For 335 Southwest Main Street, DEP 143-0994. Five, sorry.
Yep.
A second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Jim Farr, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mungum, aye.
All right, then make a motion for 349 Southwest Main Street for a minor field change to add a tracking pad for DP 143-0994.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to add the tracking pad for the 349 Southwest Main Street lot. All those in favor?
Jim Farr, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mungum, aye. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Schedule that pre-construction meeting.
Good night.
Now we can hit number 11.
Trying to move us along.
No, you're doing fine.
I don't need to sign.
Are you guys for 60 Walnut?
Yes.
All right. Number 11, request for certificate of compliance, DP number 143-1057, Autumn Doobie, 60 Walnut Street, map 262, lot 3.2-4. Good evening. How are you tonight?
Good, how are you?
Good. Not bad. So, what do we have? A certificate of compliance?
Yes.
Oh, you were here before,
Yes.
weren't you?
So last time there were a few concerns you had,
Yep.
and we fixed them.
Okay.
Fixed that hump, re-supported the fence where it was falling down, and we reseeded it in grew grass.
I see grass.
Lots.
A lot more than before.
Yeah. Timing's everything. And water, I see you got a hose out there, so
Yes,
that
lots of water.
helps.
Yep.
Okay. Sam, have you been able to take a look at it again?
Yep, we did take a look at the site, and we have no issues. It's definitely grown in much better than it was previously. So it feels stable at this point, so what we need is them to remove the silt fence and the wattles now. If you can approve it, just given, I mean, you could make a condition saying they need to remove it, but just by word, you need to remove the silt fence and just make sure it's removed. We can do an
She's been
inspection if you want, or a commission member could do an inspection just once it's removed and just stop by there if you prefer to do that, just to make sure it's been removed. Other than that, we recommend a complete COC.
If necessary, Mark, I can walk up and do it.
You can see this one?
Well, it's a little bit of a walk, but I can walk there.
All right.
What number are you at?
52.
52.
All right, well,
So I would just call the
you
town
will-
hall once you've removed them.
You don't?
Just call Jen at the town
There's
hall.
another-
say-
Call
there's
next
one in
week.
between.
Okay.
Okay. Are you good with that?
yep.
All right, make a motion to approve the certificate of compliance for DP 143-1057 of 60 Walnut Street, map 22, lot 3.24, and make sure you remove the slip fence wattle and call the town hall, just so we can just double check.
And
The full certificate.
Brandon has to walk by the site after the...
Brendan.
Brendan.
Brendan will walk by the site.
Brandon can join me if you want.
You can't bite either. You have to walk.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded to approve the certificate of compliance for 60 Walnut Street, map 262, lot 3.2-4, DEP number 1431057. Roll call vote.
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
We're good?
All set?
You're good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good night.
Yeah.
You too.
Two.
Wow, we're going to be under that 2-hour mark. Possibly.
We're going to have a vote
I know.
in 25 minutes. Maybe.
Dun, dun, dun. Is anyone here for the 288?
So there's someone online, but I don't know. There for this. Now, last time, can I see the folder real quick? We had requested we did get a as-built plan, but we had requested that there be an engineer letter stating the deviations, because there's quite a few deviations. As of right now, we haven't received any updates from anyone.
Mind that.
So we're kind of just where we were last time, in the same position.
I still didn't get the letter.
We didn't receive an updated letter.
There's a letter in our packet here.
There is a letter in your packet, but it
It's
doesn't
stated-
state any of the deviations that have taken place. And there's been quite a few under this as-built plan. There's been quite a few deviations that have taken place from what was originally approved in this order of conditions.
There was?
Yeah.
Oh. So I stopped by and talked to Jen about it. She said that the letter was in our,
Yeah, October.
and there was a revised as-built plan in there.
We do have an as-built plan. I don't know.
The revised one is supposed to be in our packet.
1013 revised to add walls, it seems. So I don't know if that's the retaining walls that are there. So just to kind of, there's several things on this plan that are different from what was originally approved in the order of conditions. Now, when Brandon was here on the 6th, he had written a note, engineer needs to point out everything that's different on some type of letter. We did have a letter.
The letter, yeah.
It says, based on the fieldwork performed on the existing conditions plan and a physical observation of the site, it appears that the order of condition requirements have been met with regards to post-construction. All areas not affected by the actual constructed home are vegetated by grass and lawn plantings. Now, he wants it to be set out, okay, what are the deviations? Because there's a lot of them in this case in particular. What are the deviations from what was originally approved? And then basically what you do is you go from there and you say, okay, are we going to approve these deviations? Now, I went out to the site, looked at it visually, but I'm not an engineer. I don't know, I can look at it and say, okay, this is different from what was originally approved. This is different, and we could go based off that, and then you determine, are you okay approving that? Are they significant enough that you don't feel an after-the-fact application is necessary for the deviations that have been, but it's good to have it in the letter that an engineer has pointed out, here's the deviations. We have 2 retaining walls here that weren't originally there. We have this retaining wall. We have, this is the shed that wasn't there. The driveway, I think, is in a different spot. It's gotten paved farther down. So it's just, there's significant deviations from what was originally approved. So that's all, and...
Didn't we at the last meeting, didn't we ask for that, and didn't he agree to provide it?
That's what we asked.
Well, if you look at the letter, it says the firm provided an existing conditions plan dated 6/29/25.
But this was the same...
Above noted owner site.
Right.
But this was the same letter he brought last time.
This is the same letter that we got in the first place.
It is?
Yeah.
It is.
And I thought we said at that time, the letter, you just need to add in
Yeah.
the changes since
Deviations,
then.
and we'd approve it.
And
Yeah.
that was on the 6th, and it seems that someone was probably there on the 6th, because you guys talked about it, but then on the 20th, I don't think anybody showed up, so then we continued to tonight, and still nobody's here on behalf of that. I can reach out to Jen again, and she can reach out to someone and see what's going on with it, if they can provide some type of list of the deviations.
Yep.
Yeah, Yeah, I thought we were pretty clear as to all we wanted was the letter to state the changes since the order of conditions was.
Well, and I thought that, if I remember correctly, he agreed to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought.
He did.
Okay.
but maybe the engineer hasn't agreed. I don't know. All right. No one on Zoom or anything that wants to speak to this? No one's here. Okay.
Right. Sorry.
I don't know, what do we do? Do we continue it, or do we even need to continue it?
He's trying to close on his house, so
But should we?
I think we should continue it.
I mean, it automatically will just get, he's not here, so that's automatically going to have to continue to the next meeting.
Okay.
But shouldn't we, are we going to have Jen reach out to him? Because if it,
We can.
Yeah.
I mean, I can just reach out to her and say, because I'll talk to her tomorrow about the meeting, so I can just let her know.
Okay.
Nobody came.
Jen thought that that we should be able to approve it tonight.
All right, and
I talked to her before the meeting on Thursday, and
I don't think
she said that, the narrative is on file. The engineer, sent a letter, and, the guy just wants to close on his house, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she's not fully aware of what the conversation was around it.
No,
but-
she recorded the meeting minutes on the night that Bombara was here,
Okay.
so she said one of you guys should be able to say it's okay.
Well, under what Brandon said in one of the last meetings, they wanted a list of, these are the deviations from
Okay.
what was deviated from the original order of conditions, so.
I was just saying, Jen said that it should be all set, but,
I'll talk to her tomorrow.
okay, all right.
thank you.
What's that? Emergency certification?
So do we continue it till December 1st?
Yeah, I think that automatically.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, I mean, you can vote to continue it to the
Sure,
next.
make a motion to continue
December 3rd.
to December 1st for 288 Northwest Main Street, map 144, lot 11, DP 143-0621.
Second.
Motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Josiah to continue the certificate of compliance meeting for John Bombara, 288 Northwest Main Street, map 144, lot 11, till December 1st. Roll call vote?
Jim Foran, aye.
Brennan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Muncham, when you talk to Jen, could you request that she contact the applicant and let him know that he is on our agenda for December 1st?
Yep.
He may not have been notified, I guess.
Probably have it moved up in the batting order, too. I mean...
Everybody wants me moved up in the batting order. Come on.
No, seriously, he's always batting last.
Doesn't have to show up right at 6:30.
I've just noticed that, so I don't know, maybe he can't make it for 6:30, but...
Well, but I mean, everybody probably feels the same way. I wish I was.
I don't know, I'm just saying,
If he comes and and there's a letter,
Yeah,
we'll move him up.
yeah, why not?
No letter, can't move them up.
We'll put a bat and lead off.
There we go. That's the way I like it.
Yeah.
Oops, okay.
Number 13, emergency certification, Depot Street, Town of Douglas. What's up with that?
So you guys already approved that last week, but you
Oh.
can sign it, so,
Oh.
and that's probably my fault. I
Which is
didn't
in
pass
blue
it. So,
folder.
yeah.
That's what you're pointing at.
So it's in that.
Jeez.
Should have passed it around.
It wasn't an emergency.
True.
Thank you for following.
Usually if it's an emergency,
That was nice of you
he
saying.
chases us down. Jen like,
No hesitation.
Yeah. One of you people told me the fence already.
I need 3 people to come up here and sign this thing. And I have to take the long walk up the street.
You're a walk too, right? You two should be on the top of the
I
list.
can wait to Mark.
Did you have a baking cookie?
I didn't, but I probably should. I feel like I'm obligated. Pass it over. Give it a whirl.
You can't have a baking cookie out of obligation. You have to have it out of pure.
Never had
All
a
right.
baking cookie.
All right, you gotta have
I
one
don't
too
know,
then.
no, that's
You know what?
obligation.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Did you have one?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Now I'm going to have a chocolate chip cookie.
I couldn't do the double play, couldn't do that.
I am going to do that next. All right, roles and
Filling.
responsibilities. Do we still have that on here? Do we need still?
Are you
I
passing
don't think we
around
need to
again?
have that on here anymore.
No, I don't.
Or review of special conditions. We
Yeah.
approved that at the last meeting.
Yeah, I think
borrow your pen?
Brendan was going to
Thank you.
adjust the roles and responsibilities
That might have been, yeah.
and bring them back like
When he
or
comes,
something.
yeah. Careful.
That seems like something that he's
Yeah.
not top
There you go.
of his priority list.
Or ours.
Like, it should not be, yeah.
Thanks for remembering for me, Kate.
Yeah.
But the special
I'm brain
conditions
dead.
are all set.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Like,
No, it
But
doesn't.
no, we voted on them last.
Yeah.
and then we just have the
Ed used
minutes,
a lot
right?
of brain power the first part of this meeting, so.
Oh, on the minutes?
Oh, yeah.
No, no.
Oh, look at these things.
All right, are we on to minutes?
I'm all set for minutes. Are you, Mr. Chair?
I got my hand in a cookie bag.
Are you,
So he's ready for the minutes. I'm listening.
are you guys, do you record them or do you just want me to say them so Jen can adjust it? Okay, cool. I'll go through them really fast then. So for Monday, September 8th, there's, I have 5 total, they're really minor. New business, number 2, the third to last line, it says issue is for wetlands line straightened out, and it should probably just be issue is for the wetlands line to be straightened out. And if anyone has concerns, just let me know and I'll stop. Number 7, on page 4, it's the 6th line down. It just says other comments and recommends a standard special if it is approved tonight, but I think it should be special conditions.
What was the minutes?
It's from
That's from the last meeting?
September 8th.
We only have the minutes for
First page?
And
June 2nd, June 16th.
I have them from her email.
Per email?
I think we,
You're on
have
September 8th, right?
I have September
Yeah,
8th in my...
Yeah, it's right in here.
You do?
Yeah.
Multitask.
Oh, right.
Trying to throw you off.
September 8th, yeah.
and then, let's see.
Okay, yes.
2, okay. And
Do you
then the
have
last-
it?
You're right. Yes, I do. My
The
mistake.
last page, it just says, under other, I don't know if it matters, but the first part of that, sorry, lines 3 and 4 are bolded and they might not need to be. And then it says on line 6, December 26th, 2025, but that hasn't happened yet. So I think it's 2024. It could be a different year, but definitely not 2025. It's-
Yeah, it was probably 24, right?
yeah. Same thing with line 8, it says December 30th, 2025. So I think that should be whatever year line 6 was.
That would make sense.
24 sound right, or is it?
Well, it does, because it says, 2 lines above that, it said Conservation Commission meeting on December 16th, 2024.
Yeah.
So it would make sense that 2024 is also the date
Yeah.
with December 26th. Because it was definitely, they accepted the land.
Yeah.
Yes, that is 2024.
Maybe that's why she bolded it too.
Yeah,
To
maybe.
show.
Right,
Smart.
so that should be corrected to 2024 from 2025.
And that was everything for September 8th.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for September 8th, 2025, as duly noted by Kate.
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Kate. Seconded by
Whoa,
Brendan.
it sounds different.
Send it to...
That was a slap there.
I'm sorry.
I'd be very angry if I were you.
Oh, my
I'd be
word.
very angry if I were
To
you.
approve the meeting minutes for September 8th, 2025 with edits. All those in favor?
Jim Bourne, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike?
Yes.
Josiah
Mike
Birch, aye.
Greco, aye.
I approve.
Mark Mungem, aye. Meeting minutes for September 22nd?
Yes. Okay, page number 2, item number 5. It says Megan Fiera went through what had been done on the project and complete, and I just don't know what it's supposed to mean. But
Where is that?
the second page, item number 5, the first line under the heading says Megan Fiera went through what had been done on the project and complete.
Or maybe completed?
Yeah, I would say completed.
That would make sense. Perfect. Item number 7 on page 3, Mark Allen with Allen Engineering representing the applicant to discuss and questions. I think should just be any questions instead of and questions. And then item number 8, that doesn't, never mind, ignore that. Item number, sorry, I just want to make sure it was actually an edit. Item number 10 on page 4, Brandon Benuth showed aerial views to just be A-E-R-I-A-L instead of the I think that's pretty much it.
Did you get this?
No, I didn't get it.
Oh, sorry, item 10, the second to last line says, they discuss the property being a commercial farm and it being an agricultural, it will change the lens of what they're dealing with. I think it should just be, they discuss the property being a commercial farm and how it being an agricultural site will change the lens of what they're dealing with. I don't know if it's an agricultural.
Yeah, it depended on how they, yeah.
Yeah.
You weren't here for that one. That was the one where Brandon asked him if it was being used as a business.
Yeah.
And
I think it's meant to say, and it will being in agricultural use. Like, they discussed the property being a commercial farm and it being in agricultural use will change the lens of what they're dealing with. Something along those lines.
So.
Or it being an agricultural site instead of it will change the lens of what they're doing. Either way, you get the point.
anything else on that one?
And under, this is the last one, under other, the second to last line says Brandon Finuke stated that they have 2 options to either leave it alone or let it grow back or submit an application to create the path. I think it should just be to leave it alone and let it grow back or submit an application to create the path. But that's it. That was extra picky.
That's what we like, extra picky.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for September 22nd, 2025 with the
Kate edits.
the edits from Kate.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Jim, seconded by Brennan to approve the meeting minutes for September 22nd with edits. All those in favor?
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye.
Is there anything else?
Does anybody else have anything they want to bring up or talk about?
I went to the MAC conference.
Oh, good for you.
You too?
Yeah. Nice.
Sorry, that was
Tell us
really
all
funny.
about it.
Oh, I don't remember
you don't
all
have
about
to.
it, but I went to a sustainable landscaping class where I actually got really excited and ended up signing up for a couple of certificate courses with Mass Audubon because I just couldn't help myself. And then the last segment that I went to, I had to leave a little bit early, but it was all about Devon's, the community, and like how they transformed the old, was it an army base?
It's an army base, yeah.
The old army base into like this really fascinating complex.
Yeah, mixed
It's like
use, yeah, it's a
town,
real
but
mixed use complex. It's almost like another town now,
yeah, and like all the thought that went into it with all like the nature-based design ideas and the lead, everything, and just everything they did was just like blew me away. So I had a few notes from it, but I can try to find the materials and send them along from the course itself. It's really
Good. Yeah, you always gain something from those meetings, I find, you know.
Yeah,
so-
I did when I went up to Holy
Yeah.
Cross, with you.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
That-
Yeah, the next one will be in March. They usually have the spring one in early March. so-
Brandon said he's the one who puts on the one in March, so if you're gonna go to one, go to that one.
But of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is it? Is that
Holy Cross.
Holy Cross.
Every March?
Yeah,
is
it's always at
Cross?
Holy Cross. Where was the one you went to?
In Devon's.
In Devon's, okay.
Holy Cross is much closer.
That one's a big one in the spring. It's fun.
Go ahead.
Thanks, Kate.
Yeah. Should have put together a little report and not just told you how much Devon.
We still got a minute to
So
go.
cool.
PowerPoint
Yeah.
presentation would have been.
1 minute.
Anyone want to make a motion to extend the meeting or to adjourn?
Do we have anything else to talk about?
We still got 1 minute.
Nothing says can't be early.
Yeah.
This is your chance, Jim.
Who's going to be going to the town meeting on the 17th?
I'm gonna try.
I'll be there. So,
Always go.
should be interesting. I don't always
You
go.
always go.
I really don't.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Motion's been made by,
I think
Hit it, hit
seconded
it,
by
hit it.
Jim to adjourn. All those in favor?
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Rocco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
He
Mark
said them.
Mungem, aye. Adjourned at 8:29.